Welcome to Germany. In rally terms, this is Sebastian Loeb's homeland. He was born just 200 kilometres away, but more importantly, he's the only man to have won this event since it joined the championship some 6 years ago. And after another historic victory, this time in Finland, Loeb comes to Germany even more confident than usual.
For me, the most important is to beat Mikko for the championship. That's the priority, but also I won this rally every time, so I don't want to lose it, but I know that one day I cannot win it every time, so we will see.
It's certainly a daunting prospect for championship leader Mikko Kievanen, who's not renowned for his skills on tarmac.
Well, he have to lose it some year, so we just try to go again, and hopefully it's this year, and we have the speed this year to be able to fight against him. But of course, because the championship is so close, I just have to go there, and hopefully that we can win the rally and take more points than he does. But it would be really good to do the same thing to him that he did to me in Jyväskylä.
Loeb's main challenge is likely to come from tarmac specialist and former teammate Francois Duval. The Belgian has finished second to Loeb here on 3 occasions. So after 9 events, Mikko Kievanen has a distinctly vulnerable 1-point lead over Loeb. Chris Atkinson is up to 3rd after his podium finish in Finland. Danny Sordo also passed Lavela to take 4th. Being a tarmac specialist as well, will be looking to improve his position here in Germany. In the manufacturers, Citroën reduced the gap to Ford to just 3 points after their success in Finland, and they will be hoping to take the championship lead and get more tarmac domination. This is the first genuine tarmac event of the season, but it has a nasty fight, especially when it gets wet.
A lot of grip changing with sometimes some concrete, sometimes tarmac, gravel, and a lot of dust and gravel on the road, so it can be very tricky.
First you've got the vineyards, so you've got these sort of zigzagging roads up a hill with hairpins, sort of continuous hairpins one after the other, and then in the military area, bomb holder, it's very fast, followed by tight junctions, a lot of bumps and jumps, and it's very loose and tricky, so you slide the car a lot more there.
Very fast, flowing roads in the forest and in the fields, but lots of corners where you can cut, so especially in the rain it's very slippery, and there's lots of mud normally in the road.
It's like going out with on the ice without studs some places, so it's so bad.
Also those big Hinkelsteins just going beside the road, so there's not even a tiny room for do any mistake or anything.
This tricky rally is based in Trier, which is situated in the west of Germany. Days 1 and 3 pass through the Mosel vineyards, with day 2 taking on the now infamous challenge of the Baumholder military area. There are 353 kilometres of competitive tarmac for the drivers to negotiate. Coming up, Sebastian Loeb gives us a crash course on how not to crash here in Germany.
Very narrow, very fast, so you need really to be very precise.
We find out how tarmac experts could play a vital role in this year's title race. Plus, Rally Germany has always been dramatic. We look back at past events and some of the biggest crashes seen in the championship. As ever, the rally gets underway in front of Trier's impressive Porta Nigra, one of the original gates to the ancient Roman city. Mikko Kievanen will hope he can make history himself this weekend by ending Loeb's dominance in Germany. Before we get underway, here's Stefan Clevo to let us know what lies ahead on day 1.
Okay, Rally Germany day 1, it's a 2 loop of 3 stages, 108 km total of the day. Most difficult stage of the day is Ruhrtal. We remember all these stages because a lot of drivers, especially Tony Gardemeister, had a big off there in 2005. It's really tricky because there is a lot of cuts and could be really muddy if it's raining and if it's wet, so not an easy day.
Clear skies above though as Kievanen prepares to begin the daunting task of matching Sebastian Loeb on a rally he's utterly dominated for the last 6 years. Mikko has the latest evolution of the Ford Focus at his disposal this weekend. The 2008 version has cosmetic alterations to the front grille, as well as engine improvements, which could come in handy here. Immediately you get a sense of how narrow and blisteringly quick some sections of this rally are. from Sebastian Loeb rapidly up through the gears. The Citroën C4 is capable of up to 100 kilometers an hour in just 3.9 seconds. He's not lost a pure tarmac rally since 2004, the world champion, the overwhelming favourite this weekend. But Danny Sordo is also a man brought up in the black stuff. He's finished as runner-up behind his teammate Loeb 4 times on tarmac. Could this be the rally the Spaniard finally makes the top step of the podium? Citroën's number 2 will be hot to watch this weekend, as will the returning François Duval. Belgian is a former teammate of Loeb and has finished second here 3 times. François will be desperate to impress what is effectively his home rally. Using Virtual Spectator, we can see how Duval and the rest compare so far. At the 5.7 kilometre split time, it's Sordo who's made the quickest getaway, with Loeb 1.5 seconds back. But look at this, moving on to the marker just under 18 kilometres in, and Loeb's now a long, long way ahead. Both Sordo and Duval's pace has suffered. They both slip behind Hirvonen. A solid start there for the championship leader. Hirvonen powers on towards the finish line. It's a good effort on his least favoured surface here. We'll see how happy he is with his performance on stage 1.
I've tried to push, but no, I'm fairly happy on my start, but I've never been so much sideways on my life on tarmac. It was unbelievable slippy in paces. Just like on those all the narrow roads, it was very slippy, but you know, I'm sure spectators are loving it.
Hirvonen putting on a show for the fans then. Loeb, as expected, is the man to beat in Germany. And as he surges on through the last kilometre here, it's looking like an incredible time already from the Citroën driver. Almost 6 seconds up on his championship rival.
5.9 quicker than Mikko. It's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start. Time compared to Mikko is good. After that, we have to see with the other, because I think it's possible to go faster than I've done.
Loeb not convinced he's done enough, but Sordo has struggled to maintain his blistering getaway. He's going to be slower than his teammate too. Yes, 5.8 seconds down. He lost a lot of time through the last kilometres. He is slightly quicker than Hirvonen though. And there's more good news for Loeb. Duval can't match him either. François only 4th fastest and won't be impressed with that start. A Citroën 1-2 then after the opening stage of Rally Deutschland. Loeb with an early advantage of 5.8 seconds over Sordo. It's all very close after that though. Just 11.4 seconds separate the rest of the top 8. So once again, it's Sebastian Loeb who's making the benchmark for the rest of following Germany. Who better then to give us a driver's guide to these tricky Winglard stages?
Besides the other stages of the first and third day of the run, the part in the wines, some parts in the field also, so it's very narrow, very fast, so you really to be very precise. It's also some bumps in some places, and you can throw you very easy out on the side of the road, and you can lose everything. So it's a very specific rally, like here in the field you have a lot of cuts, so that's every driver use the side of the road to take a better line. Like here, sometimes it's even more like you see here, you are cutting completely in the grass, so the grip is very low, but the line is better. Winers and silent stages are really fast, really narrow, so when it's raining it can be really muddy and really tricky.
150 mètres, gauche 140 pour mi-courfond.
We have 2 more stages to go before service. Loeb leads, but there's just half a second separating Sordo, Hirvonen and Duval. But bright blue skies above, so no chance of rain. And we join Loeb here in stage 2. Just explained, he's counting well off the road there to find the fastest line.
150 mètres. Gauche 80 plus 1000 encore de max.
He demonstrates the confidence and precision required to master these stages. has had extra training on tarmac and it's clearly paid off. Though still unable to close on the leader, a terrific time on stage 3 sees the Finn pull dead level with second place Danny Sordo. Francois Duval's challenge, meanwhile, has been hampered by a slight gear selection delay. Belgium is only second fastest on stage 2, and by the end of the following test, is 12.5 seconds behind Sordo and Kiervenen. Even the smallest technical problems can be heavily penalised on such a quick rally, then thankfully for the Subaru team though, involved in an interesting battle for 5th. On stage 2, Heather Solberg moves ahead of his teammates. Only for Chris Atkinson to fight back through Moserland. With the 5th quickest time, the Australian retakes 5th, he's only 1.4 seconds ahead of Peter. Loeb's advantage out front is 15.3 seconds after 3 stages, with Sordo and Kiervenen dead level behind. Duval slipped back a little, whilst Jani-Matti Latvala is 7th, and he's only just over 3 seconds behind Peter. Next up for the crews, it's time for a break as they head back to the service park.
Sebastian, a great start for you this morning. Are you surprised that no one's closer to you?
Yeah, but I'm also surprised that Mikko is still second, and we have Sordo and Duval, who are normally tarmac drivers, and then at the moment Mikko is second, and the fight is very close with Sordo, but he's doing well also.
Sebastian said he was surprised that you were in second and right up there with him.
Yeah, that's good to hear. But okay, he's 15 seconds ahead, and okay, maybe it's less than before, but it's difficult to do his times. But I'll try.
I am happy and disappointed also, no? But I don't have very good feeling with the car, with the tires. But the times are not bad. I will change the parts in the car for try to go faster, no?
Yeah, it's quite a difficult start. I lost some approximately 10 seconds because the gear change is quite very long. You have a small problem. For the rest, it's okay. Just drive on the first time with the soft tires, and for me, it's a little bit too soft. Now I take the hard compound.
The opening day of the ADAC Rally Deutschland, where, as expected, it's 6-time Germany winner Sebastian Loeb who leads the way. The repeated runs through this morning stages now, and it's been a promising day so far for Mikko Kiervenen, the latest evolution of the Ford Focus. The Finn is dead level with Danny Sordo, a sign that Mikko has improved greatly on tarmac. He's so evenly matched with a renowned sealed surface expert. Attacking hard here on stage 4 to get ahead of the Spaniard. Kiervenen and Loeb has again opted for the soft tyre compound. They worked well this morning and managed to survive reasonably well over the 55-kilometre loop. A lot of gravel's been pulled onto the road surface on this stage, where corners have been cut. It's making some areas quite slippery. Danny Sordo, interestingly, has opted for hard compound tyres after losing a bit of grip late on in the first loop this morning. Wasn't happy with his setup earlier, and we'll hope the adjustments made at service will help. He's attacking very hard to the stage end. Terrific driving from Danny here. That's the target time he needs to beat to move ahead of Kiervenen. Finish board's coming up. I think he's going to be quicker. Yes, just 1 second faster than Kiervenen, and he moves ahead overall by the same margin.
Danny, a little bit quicker than Mikko in there.
Better than this morning, the feeling with the car. I like more with the tires and everything. It's better, but everyone go fast.
Further back, the battle of the Subarus continues. So lost fifth in stage 3 and lies 1.4 seconds behind his teammate. He needs to beat that target to reclaim 5th, and it's going to be close. Yes, he's now 1.5 seconds ahead of Atkinson, and for the 3rd time in as many stages, the Subaru boys swap places. But it seems Petter still not entirely happy. Francois Duval, meanwhile, is trying to find the speed to get himself back involved in the tight battle for second place. His gear selection problems appear to have been sorted out in service, and like Sordo, Francois has gambled on hard compound rubber this afternoon. Taking a look at the telemetry here, you can see why the Belgian's one of the best around in these tricky German roads. Over 150 kilometres an hour on a road that's barely as wide as the car. Francois is second fastest on stage and closes up a little on Kievanen. This is where we're at then after stage 4. Loeb now holds a commanding lead of 17.7 seconds, with his teammate Sordo is the second ahead of Kievanen. Further back, Gali has passed his teammate Henning Solberg to move up to 8th. WRC Germany is one of 3 tarmac events on the calendar. It's a surface that requires a specific driving style that the gravel experts have struggled to master. You are Kankinen won 4 World Championships. Marcus Grönholm won 2. Richard Burns won, but none of them managed to win on asphalt.
The sort of classic gravel approach of slightly more sideways, slightly bigger safety margins, doesn't work on asphalt. You have to drive like a racing driver.
On tarmac you have to be very precise to brake on the right point, to turn just on the right line, and the car is much more nervous, the reaction of the car are much more quick, and so you have to react maybe quicker.
And a gravel expert does win on tarmac. He's the big deal. Petter Solberg displayed back in 2003. It was only one of this service in Corsica.
That time, you know, it was unbelievable. I think generally you just have to push on very hard and take some risk, and they paid off on the rally, and it was a win that has been waiting for a long time for Pirelli and Subaru that time, so that was nice.
Because this is such a specialised surface, Ford have brought in asphalt ace Francois Duval.
Maybe you can, put the pressure on Sebastian, because this is one rally where Francois has gone exceptionally well in the past. He's probably the only guy to really challenge Sebastian on this event.
But it's not just Sebastian that Ford need to worry about. Citroen's number 2 driver Danny Sordo has also grown up on the black stuff.
For me, the tarmac normally is more easy. It has more grip, and I don't know, the feeling, the sensation are better in tarmac. No?
But the Ford boys have been doing some extra training on their own.
I have been taking some lessons from the rally schools, so I try to, adapt new things for my driving.
You kind of have an idea how you should drive on tarmac. There's always some new things you could learn with braking and how to take the line. And you just need to transfer as much of that as you can to rally stages. So it takes time to get used to it, but it always helps. Practice makes perfect. Thank you, that was a perfect answer.
On to the final 2 stages of day 1 then, and with the fight for second place finally poised, let's join Mikko Hirvonen, who will hope that all the practice leads to a perfect run through stage 5. He's currently just a second behind Sordo. And the Finn is clearly beginning to enjoy himself out there. On stage 5, a stunning time, just 1/10 of a second behind Loeb's effort, sees him surge past Sordo and into second. And it's not just Mikko who's on a charge. His teammate Jari Latvala has also found another gear. Despite his lack of experience on tarmac, Forgan surges past both Subaru drivers to move up from 7th to 5th. Gigi Gali, meanwhile, was struggling to find his rhythm earlier, but he's shown good speed in this second loop. He's been fastest on the previous test and is pushing hard again here in stage 5. Oh no! A massive accident for the second successive rally for Gigi and Giovanni Bernaccini. And taking another look, he just clips something there and it immediately flips him offline and into the trees. The steering wheel completely ripped off its mounting. There are anxious moments as emergency crews take every precaution, helping Gigi from the car. Understandably, the stage is cancelled as the Stobart Ford man is taken to hospital for checkups. It's a sad end to his rally. We wish him a speedy recovery. Gali's accident served as a reminder of unforgiving this treacherous rally can be. Back to the action on stage 6, and we join Chris Atherton, who's just a second behind his teammate Petter Solberg. Oh, but a misjunction there, and watch the clock as the seconds tick away before he can rejoin the stage. Almost a 3-point turn there as he has to get back in the right direction. He's clearly not happy. But eventually back on the stage. But look at that, over 21 seconds lost, and combined with the lost momentum, it equates to a second in around half a minute, which puts him further behind Latvala and his teammate. Lowe, though, has barely put a foot wrong all day.
340 bons cours pas corde et frein pour 100 mètres, gauche 60 plus tard pas corde. 200 mètres.
But even he's human, a slight overshoot there. Despite that, the Frenchman makes it 6 stage wins out of 6. With hundreds of fans crowded into some sections of stage 6, though, the stewards had no choice but to cancel the run after Atkinson's passed through. Loeb's lead at the end of day 1 is a commanding 19.9 seconds. Hirvonen will be delighted to be in second, 5.7 seconds ahead of Sordo. Thoughts back at the service park, though, are understandably on the welfare of Gigi Gali after that terrifying accident.
The latest that we have is that he's now in hospital. Giovanni, first of all, has been given a complete clean bill of health, but Gigi has actually broken his left femur. We believe it's quite a bad break, and they're operating at this at the moment. But that there's no other injuries other than this broken femur.
But the fearsome reputation of Rally Deutschland continues to fight on the second day. We're in Trier, the oldest city in Germany, settled on the banks of the Mosel River. Founded around 16 BC, it was at times the capital of Rome's Western Empire. The Porta Nigra gates are the best preserved city entrance from that period in the world. Fast forward to 2008 for a gladiatorial battle of a different kind, as the rally will reach its climax in a super special stage bursting through the ancient streets. Here's Chris Atkinson's co-driver Stefan Prevo now to talk us through the big stages.
Rally Germany Day 2, it's 160 km of stages, 2 loops of 4 stages. It's a bit wider, still very fast, but different surface, more smooth. But we have this long stage called Panzerplatz, which is really famous for the big jump we have there. And it looks easier stages because it's wide, but you cannot slide that much because there is a lot of big stones along the road, and if you catch one of those, for sure, it means the end of the rally for you.
And waiting at the start line of the 19-kilometre Bossenberg stage is the man who's completely dominated the event so far, Sebastian Loeb.
100 mètres à l'arbre, 245,
Flying roads of Saarland started us off this morning. They're a very different prospect to the tight technical vineyard stages we saw on day 1. Constant surface changes and some very, very fast sections. I don't expect any of that to phase Loeb, though. He'll do better on these roads than the all-confident Frenchman. Behind Sebastian, Mikko Hirvonen will be delighted to find himself in second place, 6 seconds ahead of Danny Sordo.
Tosi hitaaksi menee. Jarru 2. Oikein serpo takamin. Nyt jarru 10 rytki vasen tosi hidas pulkka.
Bit of a wobble there from Mikko, a very high speed slide. He just caught it in time. A good recovery from the Finn. François Duval will be frustrated to have slipped adrift of Hirvonen and Sordo. Belgium's using Pirelli's new soft compound control tyre for the first time this weekend. It's taken the Stobart Ford man some time to adapt.
80 tenir pas corde, gauche 80 tenir pas corde, 25 droite 80 ferme fort coupé, droite 80 ferme fort coupé.
Oh, and a close call for Duval there too. It's really proving tricky to judge the grip levels today. Back with Hirvonen now though, has he been able to maintain the impressive pace he showed on day 1? Just a dirt track across the field here, another surface change again.
Pitkä oikein täys, maali 120.
As always, Loeb should be the one to set the benchmark, and Mikko's 7.5 seconds slower than the world champion. Let's find out how conditions are out there on stage 7.
They are really coming, Citroens are really pushing hard. They must have some magic tires, because for me it felt very, very slippy. I don't know how they can come so fast, but it's okay, fight's on.
The fight is indeed on. Mikko worried about the grip levels the tyres providing there. All the top runners got selected for soft compound, including Danny Sordo, but the Spaniard smashes Hirvanen's time, 7.2 seconds quicker on the stage, and he moves past the Finn to reclaim second. Both Subarus were passed by Latvala on the first afternoon, but Petter Solberg at least does have a healthy advantage over his teammate Atkinson after the Australian's costly mistake on stage 6.
Caution, 6 right minus, 1 left minus of the crash gravel. Straight right, opens to cut right, into ruts.
All but a mistake from Petter there, a little too close for comfort to that tree stump, but luckily no harm done in such a slow speed corner. Petter's error not too costly, he's still well ahead of his teammate. Loeb continues to stretch his advantage out front. Behind him, Sordo and Hirvonen have swapped places. Mikko will have to keep an eye on Francois Duval, who's now just 15.4 seconds back. Rally Germany may well have been dominated by Sebastian Loeb, but this has always been an event that's thrown up plenty of action and incidents. In 2004, Marcus Gronholm didn't even make it past the first corner of the rally, as Peugeot sliding off into the undergrowth. The rain came down in torrents and the roads became treacherous. Danny Solo was next up and went straight into a tree. Even Tarmac Shielvanitsi couldn't master the conditions and he slid off. All he could do was wait for the impact. And it hurt. But Petter Solberg had the biggest shot of the weekend as he slid off on Panzerplatte, clipping the infamous Hinkelsteins that are designed to keep tanks on the road, not rally cars. Both driver and co-driver weren't hurt, but the car was only good for scrap. 2005, and Tony Gardemeister showed how tricky the vineyard stages can be, doing some harvesting of his own. Marco Martin also suffered some bizarre fortune as he clipped a curb, removed the entire tyre in the process. Manfred Stoll and Alex Benge both came a cropper at the same corner as they failed to make a narrow right-hander. In 2006, there were more damp and slippery conditions to contend with, and both the Ford of Marcus Gronholm and Mikko Hirvonen came close to grief on the same corner. But rising star Jari-Matti Latvala wasn't as fortunate in his Stobart Ford, and he shed tears of frustration. Chevy Pons was left yelling in frustration when his co-driver Carlos Del Barrio lost his place in the pace notes. The off into the Vians was inevitable. But the most unusual retirement went to Stefan Wojtek as he careered through a bush into a parked car. Back in 2008, and Sebastian Loeb, as ever, has rarely looked troubled by Germany's treacherous tarmac. We join the Frenchman here in stage 8.
Et l'ancienne sera l'arbre, droite gauche 140 au plus souple, mais ferme 140.
Very close to an A-bail there. He's not happy about something, but no harm done. The Frenchman is still yet to be beaten on any stage so far in the rally. Jari-Matti Latvala has been steadily falling further adrift of tarmac expert Francois Duval's 4th position. He's approaching a different sequence of chicanes. Oh no! He piled straight into the hay bales and bounced him off the road. Well, if we take another look from inside the car, you can see the massive impacts. He waxed the hay bale. He was very lucky the car landed back on its wheels. Using virtual spectator, we can compare the Finn's speed with Loeb's as they approach the chicane. It turns out the pace note error caused the incident and it left him a clear 36 kilometers an hour quicker. Loeb sails through, and Jari-Matti was always going to be in trouble at that speed. That's 2 pace note errors in 2 rallies that have cost him dear. Latvala does eventually manage to rejoin the stage with a bit of help with Ford's number 2, while it's down to 9th. The unfortunate Latvala out of the point-scoring positions then. That provides an instant boost up the standings for both the Subaru drivers, as well as Henning Solberg and Erno Arve. Next up for the crews is a remote service and a chance to choose some new tyres before heading into Panzerplatte. Latvala makes it to the remote service hall, but to add insult to injury, incurs a 30-second time penalty for arriving 3 minutes late.
I don't know. I make stupid mistakes. It's a problem there.
Tough times for an emotional Latvala. But there's more intrigue as the forwards of the soft tyres on Citroën go for hards for the notorious Panzerplatte stage. And with the longest and trickiest test going to come, here's rally leader Sebastian Loeb to explain the intricacies of Panzerplatte.
It's very specific. It's the only stage in the world that is like this. We have a lot of good changing. Like here, you see it's really slippery. You can feel it, but when you have to arrive, you immediately feel it. Here's a completely different type of tarmac. It's very bumpy, very rough. But the grip is much better, so you have to adapt your rhythm to this grip. It's a lot of junction. You see here, so this one it was okay, but the next one you're not allowed to make a mistake. It's a lot of Engelstein everywhere, and you can lose everything in that. Now we arrived at a very fast pace. It's a big jump coming, but I brake a lot on the jump because on tarmac the car is not really prepared for the jumps, and so you can brake easily something. It's good for the spectator, but not for the car. Panzerplatte can be a crucial stage in German rally, but I like it.
100 mètres, gauche 95.
So here it is, Rally Deutschland's toughest test, the daunting 30 kilometers of Panzerplatte. Now who better to join through this now famous stretch of road than rally leader and six-time Germany winner Sebastian Loeb. A chance to check out his telemetry as he begins a run on one of the flat-out straights.
250 mètres, ciel tout droit et gauche à fond corde. 200 mètres. Voilà. 32.6.
Topping 200 kilometers an hour there, and as he explained, you saw him hit the brakes just before the jump. It's breathtaking stuff from the world champion. Loeb's championship rival Hirvonen, meanwhile, needs to get back on terms with Citroën's other sealed surface supremo, Danny Sordo. A rare opportunity now to follow the progress of these two head-to-head. With Loeb having won every stage, they've traded second-place times. Sordo has fallen to Hirvonen's 2. Danny also comes into the stage for a marginally higher average speed, reflecting his 6.5-second lead over Mikko. Hirvonen is first into the stage. Can't afford to lose any more time to Sordo, so this is a critical test for him. Flashing past those dangerous Hinkelsteins, while back at the start line, Sordo prepares for the challenge ahead. Drops up into the stage.
Bastante poco bote a fondo, 10, derecha 9, larga, frenándose tierra 5, 9 larga, frenándose tierra 5. Bastante 30, izquierda 7 a fondo y 70.
The 6.6 kilometre split time is our first chance to compare the pace of the two rivals. Hirvonen's already through, and Sordo is fast approaching the marker. And he's slower, and that's good news for the Ford man. He's 4 tenths of a second up at this early stage. Taking an overview of the whole of Panzerplatte, Hirvonen's bearing down on the 11.5 kilometre split. Can he maintain that terrific start? Mikko took the soft tyre option with Sordo on the harder compound for this stage. The Finn will be hoping his tyres don't overheat on this abrasive surface. That will reduce the grip. He sets the latest target for the chasing Sordo. With Citroën's number 2 then. Running behind the Finn, he does have the advantage of being able to react to Mikko's pace. He's now closing on that same split time. And he's now ahead. A good response from Danny. He's now 1.6 seconds up. Coming into their own on this rough military training ground. Hirvonen had the better of Sordo after 2 splits, but the balance has shifted in the Spaniards' favour. Taking a bird's eye view again, Hirvonen's not far from the finish line now. He's just past the 26-kilometre split. Miko's pace seems to have tailed off over the latter half of this demanding test. Maybe that soft compound was just too much of a risk.
Oikein hidas, tiukka, kirraa vähän. Heti vasen täys. 7, vasen nopea käännä, liukas. Jatkuu lyhyt vasen eri sisältä, liukas 7, huomio, vasen loiva, liukas jarru 7, vasen rytky, oikein hidas kirraa, tosi liukas.
He's cleared the stage okay with a time of 17 minutes 56.1 seconds. Sordo really has raised his game today, and after the 26.3-kilometre split time, Sordo is a massive 5 seconds quicker. He's coming towards the finish boards. It's looking very promising for Danny. 7.9 seconds faster than Hirvonen. He lost a little time on the final sector, but that's still a fantastic effort from Sordo. So Sordo consolidates his lead over Hirvonen. His advantage now a daunting 14.4 seconds. But it's low. He still holds the monopoly on stage wins. He's almost 36 seconds ahead of Sordo. For the lower runners, it's been a tough event. Alava has been slowly but surely finding his rhythm on his tarmac debut in a World Rally car. But he runs wide here. A big impact. He's clipped to 3 and sent into a spin. He is at least still in the battle for 8th. Matt Wilson struggling to find his confidence as he tries to adapt to the soft compound early control time. He's in 12th. There's some real moments. PG Anderson has also had a frustrating day. Impact with a rock on stage 8 caused damage to a wheel and saw the Swede lose a lot of time. He's fallen down to 17th. Henning Solberg, meanwhile, is still running in the final point-scoring place in 8th. Like most Scandinavians, the Stobart Ford man isn't at his most comfortable on sealed surfaces, so it's been a steady run so far from the Norwegian. Lavela, meanwhile, in his patched-up Ford Focus, is beginning his quest to recover the time lost with his earlier roll. Oh, but that's another mistake from Jari-Matti. Mentally, he's all over the place at the moment. Moving on to the final stages of day 2, which include the second run through the daunting Panzerplatte. Having already done the hard work after a stunning 2 days driving, though, Loeb could be forgiven for easing off the pace. In the tricky German asphalt, Sebastian almost seems to have reached a whole new level of holding the World Championship can't even come close to. It's been a frustrating day for Mikko Hirvonen. He's been beaten by Sordo on every stage so far today. And there's even more bad news on Panzerplatte. He's picked up a puncture, and it's the last thing he needed in his efforts to stay in touch with the Citroens. He's down to the wheel rim on the left rear there, and Hamilton he loses 48 seconds and 3rd place to Bilbao.
8 kilometers before the finish, we had a puncture, and I thought 8 kilometers. I just finished the stage and lost quite a bit of time.
That effectively ends what had been a gripping fight for second. Sordo finally broke his teammates' monopoly of fastest times on stage 14, but Loeb's dominance still equates to a lead of more than 40 seconds. The battle to watch on the final day is now for 3rd, with Duval lying just 3.9 seconds ahead of Hirvonen. Loeb's in course for his 7th Germany win, but there's still a contest to be decided for 3rd place. Ali's terrifying crash from day 1. He's now recovering in hospital from an operation on his broken femur and invited us to check on his progress to give his version of events.
I remember everything. I hit one stone with the Samgard and the car take off from there. I could not do anything there. I mean, it's not something that I could avoid. And now I have to keep the foot not in the floor from 6 to 8 weeks, and after I can start physio. Since this morning I went to do a couple of sideways with the wheelchairs, and it's okay.
This is where we stand coming into the final day, and before we get back to the action, here's Stefan Prevost again to talk us through the coming stages.
WRC Germany Day 3, 85 km of stages, 2 loops of 2 stages. Famous stage of the day is Mother Rhine, that we remember there that Xavier Pons had a big off with some problem in the pace notes. This can easily happen because it's really tricky and busy in the notes. And then we finish the day with this spectator show special stage in Trier, and we are looking for it as it should be a lot of fun to drive there in the town in front of thousands of spectators.
It's back to the tight technical roads of the Mosel Valley Vineyards then for the first loop. Through John Powell and Moselbein first to go out on stage 15. Australia leader Sebastian.
300 mètres.
As we saw on day one, these are very narrow, tricky roads. Loeb still looking very committed despite his healthy lead.
Et droite à fond sur frein pour 30 mètres.
Oh, but an early stall there for the Frenchman. Often with no need to push, drivers lose their rhythm. The pressure of competition focuses the mind. Having the hard work already done, Loeb just needs to maintain his composure over the final 5 stages. Such has been the Citroen's dominance that both Loeb and his teammate Sordo have been able to run their cars in a safe engine mapping setting. It means they have slightly less power, but it does conserve the engines for future use. Mikko Hirvonen, though, still has a fight on his hands. Rather than chasing Sordo for second, the late puncture on Saturday afternoon has left the Finn in a frantic scramble to make it back onto the podium. He begins the line in 3.9 seconds behind Francois Duval. The Belgian is one of the best drivers in the world on these roads. Now, right alongside Francois through the flat-out bumpy roads here on stage 15. It takes incredible skill to drive this fast on the cold, slippery tarmac.
25 ferme, 80 ferme.
Slide there. Belgium set a stunning pace on the final day in 2007 when driving a Citroen Sara. Unfortunately for Hirvonen, he seems determined to maintain third place.
Sur gauche à fond long. Et frein piège, les gauches 60 sur droite 44 cordes. Les gauches 60, droite 44 cordes.
Now wins both stages 15 and 16 to extend his lead over Hirvonen to 8 seconds. No change in the top 8 then, with just 3 more stages remaining. The Citroens in cruise control appear untouchable, and Hirvonen is running out of time to make it back to third for what would be a crucial extra championship point. But first, there's a service break for the crews. The one thing the crowds want to know is who's going to take third place.
Yes, I try to stay third, but I don't know exactly the from Malcolm.
What do you want?
I stay third.
We're gonna do it just with fighting, and then we'll see in the finish which one is faster.
The last chance then for Hirvonen to make a late charge to reclaim second. We move on to the second loop with 8 seconds separating the Finn from an extra championship point. And who knows how important that could be at the end of the season. Just heard from Duval at service. The Belgian is certainly talking tough. He wants this third place. Next determined to maintain it as he charges up into the vineyards. He again claims stage wins on 17 and 18, pulling another 4 seconds away from Hirvonen. Francois has set fastest times on every stage so far today. A terrific display of driving from the Stobart Ford-man. Duval's teammate Henning Solberg has begun to come under a bit of pressure. Noava in his efforts to maintain second. The Armco there. The car is in one piece despite a bit of cosmetic damage, but this will certainly knock his confidence. And it's all the invitation that Arva needed to push on in his efforts to pass the Norwegian. By the end of stage 18, Ramos was just 4 seconds behind Solberg. Just the Trier Super Special left to run. That contest for 7th looks like the only one left to fight for. Kiernan has a 12-second deficit to make up on a 4-kilometre stage, so it would take a late disaster for Duval not to claim 3rd now. The grand finale of Rally Deutschland is a spectacular blast around the tight confines of Trier's city centre. And so unfortunately it doesn't seem to have sustained any serious damage. And although losing a couple of seconds to Barber, Henning does just enough to hold his 7th position. Mikko Hirvonen now has seen his hopes of making it back to the podium dwindle with every passing stage. Appreciating his efforts here as he slides the full focus around the city streets. With a 12-second deficit to make up, only a horrendous mistake from Duval. All team orders can help him move up now. Francois Duval driving on asphalt is the most natural thing in the world. The Belgian may have needed a puncture for him to move into 3rd, but once he was there, his performance on this final day has been quite outstanding. There are no slip-ups from Francois, and that's his 4th podium finish in Germany.
Bravo, Francois. I am very happy. After 7 months I stay home, I come back straight on the podium. It's quite really good. Not so much mistake, and the car is not easy to drive for the weekend, but I work a little bit more for Spain and Corsica.
And the weekend looks to be providing the perfect result for Citroën. Danny Sordo and experienced co-driver Mark Marty fought off the attentions of Mikko Hirvonen on the 2nd day, and like so many times before, providing the French team with a formation finish. Sebastian Loeb has made a habit of broken records in his 7 years in the World Championship.
Et gauche 130 plus.
Il y a plus de gauche 130 plus. And it's been another faultless display in Germany. It's proved that on some events he is quite simply unbeatable. 7 consecutive wins at any event is another record, and it also moves Citroën on to 3rd in the all-time win rankings. Loeb, the undisputed king of Rally Deutschland.
It has been a great weekend again here for us in Germany. 7th victory in a row. That's incredible, but it's really a good rally for me. Every year everything is going perfectly.
And a celebration with his young family, the perfect way to enjoy this emphatic victory. After 19 challenging stages, Sebastian Loeb won by an incredible 47.7 seconds, with Sordo over half a minute ahead of Duval. Hirvonen has to settle for 4th, with both Subaru drivers finishing in the points in 5th and 6th. And the Abu Dhabi Spirit of the Rally Award goes to the emergency crews for their professionalism and teamwork that helped Gigi Gali so brilliantly at the scene of his frightening accident. The big celebrations are back at Citroën, yet another historic win for Sebastian.
We had to push very hard, especially the first day, because Mikko, Duval and Danny were going very fast. But finally we are here, so that's really good for the team with the two first places and for the both championships. So it's really a great moment.
It's very good rally for me, for the team, and I think I drove very well the 2nd day of the rally. And today I drove slowly because the Duval is 1 minute and I don't take a lot of risk.
Yeah, it's quite good because Finland, now Germany, Danny 2nd, and now for the both championship we are not too bad. So I will say now we agree. We are quite happy.
So after all that, Loeb's victory gives him a 4-point lead over Hirvonen in the Drivers' Championship. Sordo's 2nd place sees him move into 3rd, 3 points ahead of Chris Atkinson. In the manufacturers, Citroën's maximum haul of 18 points means they take a lead of 8 points over Ford. Subaru extend their lead over Stobart Ford by a single point. Next up, the crews head to the other side of the world for another classic test, Rally New Zealand. And it's back to gravel, some of the most spectacular scenery to be seen on the World Rally Championship. With a full preview at WRC.com. Plus, Sebastian Loeb and David Lapworth give some feedback on the new tarmac tyre. And there's a chance to meet some of the fans that travel to Germany to witness history in the making. But for now, it's time for Sebastian to celebrate an unprecedented 7th consecutive win here in Germany. Next stop is New Zealand, but from a French-dominated Germany, it's Sergio.